Camera will follow face inside of the frame rate. Face tracking on perfect. Guys, I'm testing the Osmo Pocket 3. Right now we're working on Nala's fear. Now mind you, she's not been a fearful dog. She seems to be getting a little excited, to say the least. Jamarcus is literally testing the sound of this thing. You would be surprised how many dogs are afraid of things. And matter of fact, what's the most dangerous day of the year for a dog? The 4th of July. And what happens on the 4th of July? It is not uncommon for a dog to potentially bite somebody. It's not uncommon for a dog to run away from home. It's not uncommon for a dog to cower. People, places, and things. The more a dog sees, the more a dog hears, the more a dog does, the more confident it becomes. This right here is a good sign for us as we hope to better generation after generation. Now, to be very clear, Nala's mom is a dog that I got from somebody, and then her dad is a dog that I use a stud from somebody else. So when we have her litter, it will be, well, actually she'll be the first FBK registered dog, but her pups will be the first generation of how we get to the generations to come of dogs that we want to create and better. Jamarcus has been working on communication and really tightening up his role in her life, to say the least. And that's the goal, is to play a honest, decent role and get the dog to react to things. I'm over here putting my 32 cents in. Look, he's working on communication. But at the end of the day, that whip is a good indicator that you're on the right path. A lot of times dogs will back up, will cower. Some dogs will charge at it. Some dogs will be what? Afraid to death of it. And that lets you know you got an even bigger thing. And I actually think I need to come up with a shadow system, because Cha-Cha clearly doesn't like shadows. But we do like seeing this type of behavior on Nala, people. Stay tuned. Take care of your dog. Follow Better Best TV, aka so you can make your dog better every day. Look, what you just saw in the last video, now we got to use it as B-roll. But let's take a look at this right here. Nala just bit the, let me make sure I get up on this. She cut and broke the skin. That thing is so deep, it's not even bleeding yet, bro. That's not a good thing. So I'm going to walk you through them. We're going to let Jamarcus take a few deep breaths. And what happens is Nala and Tron both, they are pretty fired up dogs. And so when I realized Tron almost was going to get me, I said, look, dog bite me, I'm liable to kill him. That's the truth. But because they're not thinking. So here's the challenge. It's not intentional. They literally just don't care. They don't know what's going on. And that's the bad part. So you say, dang, Nala bit her own owner, playing the game. What's going through your head? Walk them through what you're feeling. And, anything else that you want to disclose, and I'll ask a few questions as well.
Yeah. No, it's one of those things, I'm very, just trying to manage my energy, because I wanted to literally ring her up, throw her through the fence, and, but that's not how she's necessarily going to learn also. But, I don't know. This is where I'm going to have to seek guidance from my associates. But I definitely need to work on tightening her up, because he's even mentioned it before, her targeting is bad. And yes, I'm testing it. I'm even pushing my own luck, to be clear. So it's not, I put myself in that way. But even when I didn't even give her a command to like stop and stay and all that stuff like that, so that was also my own fault, lack of communication in that moment. And so she lunged again after when I was just coming down with it, and she got me. And then she bit down, and then she realized, and I said no, and she let go. And then I was like, but it's one of those things, I think in this moment I really learned, how to keep your calm in those type of moments.
Yeah.
Not to react. And that was the first thing. I was like, I didn't necessarily react like most people freak out, but I was just like, I felt the latch. I was like, no, she let go.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm just like, I really want to just ring and just body slam her personally.
Yeah.
But once again, I don't know. In those moments, what do you do?
Well, you mean you now know what I was feeling at the time them boogers got me.
Yeah.
And you go, in my mind, first thing, what did I do wrong? That's the first question.
Exactly.
Accountability is everything. In this particular case, I can say, it was all recorded. So people, I literally cut the camera off and didn't cut it off because I closed that thing out. You hear me close it out. And it was just a 2-minute talk. Within 15 seconds of me, less than me hitting the end button, she got him. And then he says, bro, I think she broke the skin. And so super calm, super collected. To answer your question, what do? You put the dog up and you reassess, because again, she's a dog who, she can sit, she can go into a down, she can stay, she can walk on a leash to a degree, she's not going to choke herself out depending on the day, but she's still a dog that's rambunctious due to the lack of targeting. So,
and that's my fault, to be clear, because I wanted her to early on, she wasn't, showing any interest in rope or bite work. So that's something I want to do. So I took her through some necessary steps, but then now I'm realizing I need to go back and now really tighten up the communication side of it, and like you said, the targeting side of things as well too.
So you start with objective. What that means, people, is he's got to compete in competition. It's a dangerous. Anything you're competing in is often dangerous. So when somebody says, "Hey, how to get my dog to compete in that way?" I've told them, "Hey, you don't. I don't know if you really want that energy, man. Because mind you, Ego, Tron, Cha Cha, Zara, I've been bit plenty times, and I don't imagine I'm not gonna get bit in the future. I don't want to get bit like that. And when I say that is Tron jump up, get the back of your arm doing dumb stuff. Ego literally only tries to get the equipment. I can put my hand in his mouth and his face. He's like, I'm not biting you, man. Give me the toy, though. And if he feels something's off, he'll back off. Tron has broken skin and put a whole tooth in my hand, to be clear. And it didn't feel nice.
Me too.
Yeah, he got Jamarcus. Like I said, he got cats. So I go, this is unacceptable. This is a 90-plus pound dog who's very capable and super competitive. Jamal ironically tried to go play with Tron one night and he damn near broke his hand. That's literally. And that was just him holding the pillow. So these dogs, they're very capable, which means we have to make sure that as we build their confidence, that confidence has a ton of direction. Yeah. Because under the wrong direction, somebody gets hurt and now we're all in trouble. It all got to go down. So in this case, Nala being so rambunctious, building up her confidence, making sure she's super competitive, you really have to work backwards. And same thing I'm doing with Tron. Yeah. Like I'm showing the process, people. I can say I messed up, but I can honestly say I didn't, because if you know who Tron was when it started, he wouldn't even play with a rope. He wouldn't chase a ball. Yeah. He wouldn't do a thing, and he still lacks confidence at times. Now we just taught him to bark, so he's barking out of realistically insecurities half the time. So had I not gone through the process, I wouldn't have anything to work with, if we're being honest. Tron would just been a couch potato per se. So he's and Nala's mom, Lord, I mean, it took a whole year of work, if not longer, to get her to do this stuff. But this, for me, where I'm standing, mind you, she didn't growl. She wasn't being aggressive. She literally was just being careless. Yeah. And two times people often hurt themselves is trying to care and being careless. And then the irony, the more you care, the more you get hurt. The less you care, the more you hurt yourself. Madness at its finest. But as someone who's been in the suit before, taken some good bites, gotten some scars, played sports, hockey, which is a very contact-driven, dangerous sport, depending on who you're talking to, he's got a tolerance for pain, but at the same time, you don't want it to be your dog inflicting the pain. And trust me, I've been plenty times in his shoes. I didn't Donkey Kong try him when he bit through my hand. I was like, just put this fool up. And mind you, there's plenty of times where you're feeling those emotions. It feels like someone just started a fight. Problem is I'll be honest with you, you're not really going to win a fight with a dog or any animal that's your size or that's kind of capable and competent. And in this case, the dog wants to please you, so you just have to tighten up the communication and really give her a lot of direction so she knows what's going on. Yeah. Because she just don't care. She literally does not care. But that right there, I'm going to zoom in so you can see. That right there, people, is...
I just did arms yesterday, too. So.
That right there is a good little bite there. She got him. Yep. She got him, and that does not make anybody feel good. So,
of course not. Stan's going to be here tomorrow, so...
Yeah, anything you want to close out with, because this is turned into a thing.
You talked about patience earlier, man, when it comes to those, and this is, I think the one thing that she's tested me the most with is her energy. All of them, to be clear. Yeah. Gia, the high, rambunctious energy thing is the one thing I think I've been trying to work on the most when it comes to all of them. Yes, I can get them down, stay, lay, all that kind of stuff. And it's fun that I can get them to do bite work. I can get their outs are usually pretty clean for the most part, like 80 to 90% of the time. But the one thing I think I've struggled with the most through this process is managing their energy, that high energy, and really trying to get them to calm down and slow down. I mean, Nala knows better than to jump out of the car now. I've worked on her, her releases still, but even then, if I don't give her that command, she'll still bolt out of the crate. If I don't tell her to stay and wait, she'll still bolt out once I open it. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done, to be clear, especially when it comes with her energy. So yeah.
There you go, people.
Take care of your dogs. Yeah, take care of yourself. Jeez, be careful.
Now, this is coming from a vlog standpoint, even though it's all going on FBTV. And mind you, from the person who helped bring some of these dogs to life and knowing the work that goes into them, this is why we don't rush our process. And I can't rush mine. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just can't. I know people are dying to get our dogs. they're a lot of work. And here we are. The oldest dog is Zara, and she's done breeding. She's 4. The next oldest dog is Eco, and Tron will be next, and then Gio will be next, and then Nala will turn 2. So we have a bunch of 2-year-olds. I mean, think about that. People are breeding, like if somebody really puts it in perspective, we have a bunch of 2-year-olds that are that, oh, there's a dog, it's ready to breed. Yeah, it can breed, but it's a bunch of 2-year-olds. Bunch of kids running around acting crazy. What do you think is gonna happen? A problem if somebody doesn't know what they're doing, people. We'll talk some more, and I'll hopefully be able to draw more perspective over the next few months of work. But 2-year-olds, that's why we got to be the adults.